Introduced to a false faith, singing praise to a white face with blue eyes nailed to wood planks. Replacement of our creator with devils, gods, and saints. They disassembled temples, built a church up in its place. Junana had a human soul, stood on the pinnacle, excelled in astronomy, sciences, and agriculture. Conch shells yell from atop the Theogalis. We stand in opposition, driven by our convictions, living in our own lands, but still in prison. Bio-warfare created here by a Christian. Smallpox vehemently spread by the racists. Taken from our birthplaces, placed on reservations. Forced integration, a cultural castration. They took possession of this soil, created nations, governed by Caucasians, and the numbers are outrageous. 100 million dead at the hands of Europeans. But in our books, it's been deleted. Deceit is more convenient. They make our children pledge allegiance to a flag, then call them heathens. We bow before the Virgen and we idolize Malinche. Put more value in our sneakers than the fact our blood's Mexica, Nicantlaca. And although the branch be broken, it sprouts forth and regrows, so I look to the east to where it's red and where the reed grows. The seed breaks the sheath and takes root in the deep soil. I walk along my east stalks, most of which have been spoiled. Embroiled in a bed of battle, herded like cattle spat on. We embrace our bondage rather than cast it off, and place our faith on.
My dad is a heartbeat, is a couplet, is an inhale, exhale reassurance. I'm in love with the poem. The greatest, most epic, unfinished poem that's still being written and lived. I read the poems at night before I sleep, and I wake up to excerpts of the poem in the morning. Small text glow in my palms, every word a tiny miracle. Oh, you poem who contains so much poetry inside you, my almanac of like, my every good luck token. Someone is in love with me too. And often I will not believe it, but rather deny the love, fortress mode, barrier out feelings, close my eyes and hope I don't recognize the music. But even with my mouth closed, I smell lilacs in my chest. I press my hands against my ears and I still taste the mango. I open my eyes and there you are, and that is the magic of a poem. It is wild dedication. My mother performs poetry and I wake up to the loudest rainstorm, a cup of coffee my mom made before she left to work, and a note that says heat pie less than 30 seconds. So now I have pie and coffee and clouds on their way to Earth for breakfast, and I leave my dad a poem in his voicemail, and he helps me write the poem by taking me to lunch, and my oldest brother finishes the poem by calling us in the middle of it, and we put him on the speakerphone and we laugh and we smile, and soon this restaurant is just another poem in our anthology of worlds and memories and books and poems. And we are all a strange land built by rocks of different sizes, woods from all corners, waters from any dimension, brought here to nourish, feed our plots, to grow out of our potential, to eat with full hands and fuller hearts. The fruits of our love, the seeds we planted long ago, will bloom when they bloom. So until then, what we do is we tend, we nurture, we take care of each other. Then we write again, and look, poems, and look, I love you.
I was just a girl when I walked through the artery of the Siamese heart, growing accustomed to my presence. Blood from my arms and legs spittled into war by the winds, trampling over empty jugs and deserted memories where rows of unmarked dreams lay to rest. So this next piece is called Fear. Fear. Fear's but an obstacle. What are you so afraid of? I am afraid to let go. Afraid of fearing nothing. Fearing no one. Leaving those behind who witnessed me die for fear of leaving a trace of a measured reality. Orgullo was the creed. To expose the belly of the leech. Bearing hacks, my rib cage caved under rage, yelling, I can't breathe. A price range, my imprisonment proved more truthful than I will ever live to believe. My worth, which comes at the cost of my physicality. Because libertad will never be free. My existential debt privatized and auctioned off in a criminal spree. The color of my skin, not the content of my character, the usual general deed. I found me within the judgment and the hatred from General Lee. Fear of a whitewashed desire, white on the senses, or whiteness of pretending to be anything else but me. Boorish eyes of my people, embedded throughout timelines, feverishly sought through prisons and detentions, though unjustified. 2020 only provided the Confederales a sequel. I am Joaquin, the inside man creating upheaval. I feel you. Do you feel me? The post-traumatic barrage on this Carta Blanca produced by my fist until blood spilled, bearing guilt of foreign wars across oceanic abysses, deep in the jungles through sand, from my hands breaking down the barriers of skin until it kills me to know that I was human within. These four walls otherwise had me convinced. Maybe grow up never mattered when I was only a kid. I really appreciate y'all, being so attentive, and I appreciate you guys, showing some love, showing support. I see some of my, I recognize some faces, I see my people, I love to see that, supporting each other, uplifting each other, that was the intended purpose of this. It was for us, being in this moment right here is such an honor, being able to share this moment with you is such an honor, and so I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, I really do. Now, when you hit the system, when you hit the correctional system, you're given a number. It's more of an ID, right? It seems like once you are admitted into the system, you don't have a name anymore. You become a number. You become the number that is assigned to you, a state ID and SID, and that number is assigned to you essentially for your life, entire life. Anytime you have contact with police, that's your name. Anytime you go back into the system, that's your name. You don't have a name anymore. They don't treat you as a human. You're not a human anymore. You're a number. But we fight to keep our name. We fight to be us, to be me. And this next piece is called number 21142561. You convicted me way before the judges did. 2114256 times, in fact. My burning red and freckled cheeks, unsold truths through Cortezes, on the soles of my feet, burning streaks on freshly waxed halls. Un apocalipto urbano, at City Hall, in school halls, in church halls, the same halls full of pinto chances. Halls where my jumpsuit was turned away like infused needles when my love was prone to infection, though bullets pierced my ears sterile. Policastros, don't bother using Bob Barker's soul. Sunday Mass only canceled me for bald-headed attention and hand-twisting sermons, and in that moment, fingers grazed the lever, citing the pews of Congreso, but the primer was already set, wasn't it? The only thing that blasted throughout the halls was a grito, a lot like the one that Pancho Villa echoed.